Good morning guys, it's Chris Hudson from Hudson Lighting. Today I want to show you the first 230 volt wall light that we're ever making, or we've ever made, should I say. So unfortunately this video is going to miss out some of the machining, or all of the machining. Sorry about that. Basically I cracked on with this yesterday. We're short staffed at the moment. One of our guys is off and won't be back until either lockdown's over or we get a unit. Hopefully we get a unit and then he can come back, but yeah, it's one of those things, personal reasons, you know, you can't, what can you do? Anyway, so I'll talk about the wall light. So this is the base. So if you've seen our, let me grab one of these. This is the base normally for most of our wall lights, and this is the new 230 volt wall light base, and this is the base plate. So the idea is this base plate takes an O-ring, so let me just go and grab that. Here we go. So the O-ring goes on the most forward ring, and then the whole thing pushes on, slots in, so it seals between the base plate and the inside, and you've still got the last, you've still got the last groove to do your grub screws. So you'll have the 3 grub screws. Now that will take our usual 25mm head and base. So if I just grab these two, just to give you an idea. So I know, right? So for some people that's going to look, well, sorry, it isn't go with that. I'm wrong. I'm kidding. I'm not telling the truth. It goes with, where is it? I know we've got some around here somewhere. Here we go. Here's some we powder coated earlier and anodized. Although apparently this one needs to go back through powder coating. Someone's not been checking what they're doing their job. Anyway, so it goes like this. Now, obviously the head is quite small on the base. So there is an option, as always, with all the wall lights, to add the sleeve. So you'd have your sleeve on there. And then if you look at that, that's a bit more of a sort of size you expect. So obviously, if you want the light to be as small and as discreet as possible, you'll go with that, all black, I guess. And if you want something a little bit more substantial, you'll throw the sleeve on there. The sleeve will be in place. Right. So why send this back to powder coating? But yeah, so we've got let me tell you what we've got to do next. We need to anodize these. Oh, actually I need to drill. There's a couple of fixing holes obviously missing. So I made sure it was a 20mm hole on the back, so that, you know, if you want to use a 20mm stuffing gland, a 20mm grommet, that kind of thing, they're all options that you can do. Then anyway, we've got to, so we anodize this. This will just stay clear anodized. It won't have any more work done to it. This will be anodized and powder coated. These are going to be CorTen. So actually, before this gets anodized as well, this needs to be sanded. So you can see how this one's got this like a brush into it. It's basically just to give it an even finish, because if you look here, we've got, I'll do it on this camera, we've got little tooling marks just there and there. From the face cycle, it's slightly less shiny than the outside, and also where we've tapped, that needs to be cleaned up as well, just because there's just, you can barely see it, but there's a tiny little sort of like rough edge there. Yeah, and then that's it. That's that ready. We've got the hinge to add, ball joint obviously, and then we're off. So I'll show you how the driver goes in. So we're going to use Ecopac drivers. This is IP66 anyway, so you know, you don't have to worry too much about the base being sealed other than for the electrical connections. But yeah, it's IP66, and this little driver is 4 watt. So it's quite tight. I've got to admit, it is still, so here's your space. It's still quite tight in there. So we do have to be a bit mindful of that. But there is a little bit of fiddling about, I guess, to kind of get it all in. Just in terms of like the cables are sort of pushing on there a little bit. I mean, there is space. There's definitely space. But yeah, you know, it's in there. So the other thing I've got to consider that I just thought of while I'm standing here and talking to you guys is the earth. Obviously, this is a metal fitting. Regardless, I can sit there and go, oh look, it's a class 2 because I've enclosed the connections. No, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna earth it. So what's the best way to earth it? Well, maybe we just tell the contractor to use a fly lead and eyelet on one of the fixing screws, maybe, or I'll come up with something. I'll have a think about that. I'll come back to you. Anyway, I'll see you guys in a bit. We'll come back to it when it's when we're doing the build, and we'll see how it goes together. See you in a bit. This has been anodised, as you can see here. It's just a clear anodise. So the next thing that this needs to go through is what's called a pre-bake. That's essentially where we put this in the oven and bake it out for about 30 minutes. And the idea is that any air that's trapped inside the metal, we try and get it out, because the air leaves us with bubbles on the powder coat, or like dimples, actually, not bubbles, dimples on the powder coat. Sometimes with pre-bake we don't quite get rid of them all, something that happens, and we use like anti-gassing powder coats to try and get rid of that. Anyway, that is that base there. Also I need to do this hinge, but I thought we'd already had one anodised. We don't, so this is gonna have to go on anodising. So I'll quickly show you how that works. Like, literally so simple. That's gonna go on there like that, and that's gonna go straight in the tank below where you are, and it will go on for probably only about half an hour at like 0.2 of an amp, something like that. Not very long, should be quite a quick process. I'll probably pre-bake both of those together. And while I'm at it, I need to, oh, it looks like one of our guys has already powder coated a top, which is great. So I'll hand this over to Max in just a second. That's a baffled top. Right guys, that is the wall light base out and done for the powder coating. So what we'll do now is I'll get this sleeved. Right guys, last key to the puzzle is the wall light hinge. We already did the back and top previously. One of the other guys had already powder coated it, was Joe. So yeah, so literally this needs to go in the oven and then final assembly. I think the head is already assembled and made. It's only the back bit we're going to concentrate on in this video anyway. So we're going to get, let's turn it off so it's not so noisy. So we're going to get the, so we'll get the backside made up, and I'll show you what we're going on there when I get to that bit a little bit later on, or it might be tomorrow, but you won't know the difference, will you, I suppose. Anyway, see you later. So guys, this is the fly lead that I've just come up with. So you would, hands are filthy from doing the lathe, basically fix your screw into there. You can put that in whichever angle you want, and then you're earthing down the fitting like that. I mean, we've really set this up for one inlet cable. You could definitely get away with more, but the space is quite tight at the back. We're going to still try and keep the base as small as reasonably we could. You don't need to be absolutely massive, do you, really, for this sort of fitting? But let us know your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and yeah, we'll see you on the next build.